Hey guys, this is a lovely sequence for easing any neck and shoulder stiffness or tension. I had a lot of that after a long drive that we just did down to Kerry last weekend, and I'm coming to you from my holiday home. And I just thought this might also be useful for some other people. So we're gonna do some asana, we're gonna do some somatic stretching and some relaxation. So let's get into it. You're gonna start kneeling on any soft surface. If you have a yoga mat, great. And we're going to start by doing a little bit of movement with our breath. So we're going to, you can close your eyes if you want to, sitting up nice and tall. You're going to start with some neck movements. So we're going to inhale, looking all the way up, stretching out the front of the throat. Exhale, looking all the way down. Once more. Inhale, looking all the way up. And exhaling, looking all the way down. We're going to do the same, similar side to side. So we're actually going to inhale center, exhale all the way to the right. Inhale center, exhale all the way to the left. Inhale center. I'm going to do it once more each side. So to the right, inhaling back to the center, and once more to the left. You're always moving with your own breath in yoga, so if you don't exactly match up with the way that I'm talking, that's perfect as well. And the next one we're going to do is dropping the right ear to the right shoulder. And you can take your hand and just rest it on your left ear if you want a little bit more intensity. Really feeling a lovely stretch here in the left side of the neck and shoulder. And we'll gently release that, and we'll go with the other side, dropping the left ear down towards the left shoulder and taking the left hand to the right ear if you want to for a little bit extra there. Noticing your breath throughout the sequence and using each exhale to just soften a little bit more. And coming back to center, we're going to do some spinal flexion. So we're going to inhale, pushing the chest forward and the shoulders back, looking up to the ceiling. And we're going to exhale, rounding the back, looking at the navel. Moving with your own breath, we're going to do these spinal flexions a few times. And you're just going to move as much as feels comfortable for you without overdoing it. You don't want to throw your spine forwards or backwards. Just nice gentle movements. You can get a little bit more intense if it feels too gentle for you. It's always nice to start fairly gentle and then build it up from there. Super. From here, we're going to come on to our hands and knees. We've just got two more asana, and then we're going to go for a relaxation. So we're going to inhale the right fingertips all the way up to the ceiling, and then exhaling, taking the hand all the way through, just reaching the hand as far as you need to feel a comfortable stretch in the shoulder as you rest your right shoulder and right ear down on the mat. Just taking a few breaths here. And then pushing into the left hand to bring yourself up, taking the right fingertips up to the ceiling on an inhale, exhaling that right hand down to the mat. Now we're going to take the left fingertips up to the ceiling on the inhale and exhaling, doing the same thing, taking the arm all the way through, reaching as much as you need to feel that stretch in your shoulder. So it's going to be different for each person, and it might be quite different from one side to another as well. And then you're going to push into the right hand, and on the inhale, you're going to take your left fingertips back up to the ceiling. And rest your hand back down on the mat. From here, we're going to go for a heart opening pose. So we're going to leave our hips over our knees and just walk the hands forward, forward, forward until your forehead comes to rest down on the mat. So notice if you're doing like this, or if your hips are back close to your heels, you want to see if you can get them more or less over your knees, your hips over your knees. Resting the forehead down on the mat. And then just allowing yourself to soften into the pose. You might be sort of holding yourself here in your shoulders. Just allow yourself to just soften it out, releasing down towards the mat. So you're not pushing yourself down towards the mat, you're just allowing your body to go with gravity, I guess. Let's take a few nice long breaths here. I find this to be a lovely pose for the shoulders. If you're like super tight and this is really uncomfortable for you, you can just go for a child's pose instead. You could just sit back on your bone and rest your forehead down like this. Otherwise, we're here in our anahata. And then we're going to make our way down to lying on our backs for our little somatic release. You can do this seated as well, but I think it's really nice to do lying down because you're more likely to like totally release. So, sorry, it's morning time. What we're going to do is you're just going to actively tighten the areas that are already tight. So if you're feeling neck and tension area, like grip, tighten that area, and then really slowly release it. So you're going to release it to a count of 10. So if it helps you, you can actually take your hands and form them into fists and tighten, and then really slowly release as you count down from 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And we're going to do that twice more. So tightening any areas of tension in your body, whichever area feeling tense. I'm thinking neck and shoulders here. So wherever you feel it most in your body, tense that area. And then super slowly, you're going to start to release it really slow. And we're going to do that one last time, just tightening up that area of tension. And then really nice and slowly releasing it. From here, we're going to come up to seated, so we're going to bend the knees and roll over onto one side, gently pushing up to seated position. So you might be kneeling or you might be cross-legged, whichever feels more comfortable for you. And the last thing we're going to do is come into a nice, comfortable, straight spine with your hands just resting on your knees. You can have your palms down or open. Open is kind of nice if you're feeling it. Nice straight spine. Take the back of the neck about 1 millimeter back behind you. And this is a nice time to close your eyes if you're comfortable doing that. You're just going to take a moment to appreciate any of the parts of your body that are working well and what does work well about your body. If you're able-bodied, if you're able to walk and run and you're healthy, you're breathing well, any of the things that you just love about your body and that your body's just doing super well for you. Just consider those things for a couple of moments. And now we're just going to bathe for a couple of breaths in the sensation of gratitude that that brings. So, just being thankful for everything that your body does for you. Ideally with your eyes closed here, just focusing on your breath, on your inhale and your exhale. And we're going to forget about the actual thoughts. So leave the thoughts about your body and focus on that feeling of gratitude, that feeling of appreciation for the body. Focusing on your breath and focusing just on that feeling of appreciation. Maybe even going with your breath. So, for example, breathing in appreciation and exhaling appreciation. As we know, the thoughts that we have about our aches and pains and our perception of pain can influence the actual feeling that we have around the pain in our bodies. So that's why this practice can be helpful. Couple more breaths, just letting the thoughts go and focusing on that feeling of appreciation. And then as you're ready, taking your hands together. Namaste. Thanks very much, guys. Let me know what you think.